In this video, we're going to discuss our next laboratory exercise, Lab 9, which is using examples of custom drawings like boxes, lines, circles, and so forth. So this is our handout, and once again, the prototype of this laboratory is Lab 4, which is using an empty window. And so we're going to make some changes there to start drawing those primitive drawings like two-dimensional shapes. The idea behind it is that, again, we're going to use FLBox, which is very primitive control. You can only use the borders of it. However, it has a draw function that we can provide by deriving our own class from a library class, and this function, as soon as we provide it, will be invoked before the box is displayed, and we'll have a chance to actually run a number of various functions to make a drawing, to make some sort of custom drawing. So basically, this is going to be the focus of our attention, the draw function that we will provide right there. So we will talk about memory usage by these controls, and be able to walk through the executable code. Now, I have already created a copy of Visual Studio Project and already loaded into our environment. If you don't have a prototype for Lab 4, there is an earlier version of Lab 4 already uploaded for you, so you can just download. Make sure that you save it in under Labs subfolder, where all of our laboratory exercises exist. The first step here is actually download the Drawbox class stored in this header file. And we're going to download it. This is our current project right here, which I have opened in my Visual Studio. And we're going to download it under Fluid Project. So we're actually going to store this header file together with Fluid files, simply because this declaration of this class, Drawbox, is going to be used by Fluid. And you will see how we will define it and within Fluid and start using it in graphical user interface design. Alright, so this is the location on my computer where I'm just about to download this. So as usual, I right click and save link as, and point it to this location, copy and paste, hit enter, and save this header file. So I just saved this header file right here in the Fluid Project subfolder. So now we're going to use Fluid to design a very simple window with just one box in it. So let's start Fluid. Of course, it's under External Fluid subfolder. Okay, and since this is already the project already exists, we're going to say File Open and navigate to the correct subfolder for the current laboratory exercise, which is Laboratory 9 Fluid Project. And here is the Fluid Project definition. So it still says Lab 3A. So of course I can update, since we're already using Fluid, I will update the title for our window. Just double click and change the label of the window to match our laboratory. Okay, so we have this empty window which is ready to be configured, and what I'm about to do is to add FLBox, so we can follow these instructions and just say new other box, right? So it's quite simple gadget. I'm going to remove this label from its definition, and we need to give it a name. Okay, so we're going to use this name, Drawbox. Switching to C++ name, and here we're also going to use the name of the class. Now Fluid understands that besides using all sorts of widgets from the widget bin, it's possible for us to derive our own class and this way extend the functionality of existing widgets. It's a pretty standard technique in many application frameworks, and it's extremely convenient feature for designing, including the design of graphical user interfaces. So this makes our environment very flexible, customizable, and extensible. So we are going to use this technique. So I'm going to copy Drawbox name to specify the name of the class. And once I close this, we can highlight, by the way, the default box, and we can now resize it. Okay, so if you are not finding the box, just highlight it in the tree view of Fluid, and then it becomes visible, so you can resize it. And so the only thing that we want Fluid to use in this little design, the only remaining thing that we want to include drawbox.h, the header file that we just downloaded into the Fluid project right here. So it's basically, it will be located in the same place where Fluid will generate the files. So we need this very simple include. So we're going to enter this extra code in Fluid. So a very important trick here is to click in the white space of this window to unselect any of these items already present in the tree view, and then say new code, and we can simply use the declaration for this type of code. And we're going to insert the actually sorry, I see, yeah, it's still, so it didn't work. Actually, I'm going to cancel out of this and hit the delete key and go to edit and select none. This is something that I really want to make sure that nothing is selected, right? So this is now nothing selected, and code, insert declaration. So this time I'm going to insert this declaration right here, and I will be able to press F2 to push it all the way up to the top. So just make sure that you unselect everything and place it at the very top. Now again, the option here that I used was new code declaration. Okay, so we're ready to save this. This is pretty much all we need right now to practice with this custom drawing, just the very beginning stages of the series of our laboratory exercises. So we're going to say file save, which saves the project, and then write code. So we just created these files. So now at this stage we're ready to compile, test, and examine the code of our current project.